All right, guys, welcome back to Whip It Wednesday. We don't have too many to get through today, which is probably good because I am still getting over being sick. So if I talk too much, my voice kind of starts to sound not so good. So this first one is done by Stephanie M. And as you can see, it is Mickey. And she bought it from I've never actually heard of this place, so I'm going to have to look them up. But it's called vanillaandcinnamon.com. She paid $5.99 for it, and it is a 20 by 25 full. So far, I can say it looks pretty darn good for being such a small piece. And, I mean, who doesn't like Mickey, right? So thank you, Stephanie, for sending this in. Okay, so Casey sent this one into me from Dispaint. It was $26.58, and it was 75 by 50 centimeters. This is a square drill, and she says she is having some problems with a few popping drills, but mainly where she thinks she's just kind of overcrowded them a little bit. But otherwise, they seem to be in really excellent condition, and she is really enjoying working on this. I'm really excited to see this one done. It looks like it's going to be a really magical piece, so please keep us updated as you continue to progress through this. Okay, so Stephanie sent this one in. It is from Amazon. She is not for sure of the exact seller because it was a gift from her mom, and so she also doesn't know the price, but it is a 30 by 30, but honestly, look at how cute this is and how much detail is actually in this for a 30 by 30. For being such a small piece, it is just really well done. I think the charting was really, really good for this because of the detail. And it's adorable, by the way. So thank you, Stephanie. Okay, Randy sent this one in. It is a custom. I'm not exactly sure where she got this picture from, but this is what it's going to look like when it is all done. Now, tell me that isn't absolutely gorgeous. Wherever you got this image from, it's really, really beautiful. This is a 60 by 60. It was $16.91, which is a really, really good price for a 60 by 60. That's a good price. And she said she's had this since last January, and she's just now getting to work on it. And this was when like 310s were at their worst. And she says that they are really just awful. She can't wait to get done with this. It is a square, and there are 45 colors in this. She is hoping to be done by Friday, so maybe if she is, she can get it into me soon enough and I can have it in my finished Friday video so that you guys can all see it because it is going to be a good one. Okay, so this is Lisa's that she is working on right now. She doesn't know the price or where because it was a swap, but she's pretty sure it's from the store Zooster, and that's spelled Z-H-U-I-S-T-R, and it is a 50 by 60, and she has only 10 sections to go, so she is almost done with this one, and it is a square piece, and she says if JDR is watching this by chance, she says thank you so much because she's really, really enjoying this piece. Now, my 2 cents. How cute is this? I have this one somewhere in my stash, but not nearly this big, and I'm kind of regretting it because looking at this one, at the detail in the eyes, I just love it. I love it so much. Of course, I'm kind of obsessed with animals, and this reminds me of my kitty that we had to put down last year, which was really tough. She was like 14 years old. Anyways, this one just really reminds me of her, and it's just so sweet and so cute. So thank you so much, Lisa, for sending this in. Okay, so Christy is working on this elephant from Diamond Art Club. It is $34.99, and it is a 32 by 52, which is a really reasonably priced diamond painting from Diamond Art Club, which, as we all know, the quality that you get from them is phenomenal. This is a round, and I find this interesting. So, she is not doing this one like section by section like most of us do, but she is doing this one first, getting all of the white out of the way, and then she's going to go back in and work on all the colors. Now, I think this is an actually brilliant idea because in paintings like this, the white or the black or whatever it is that's in the solid background can be so tiresome and so annoying. So, getting it all out of the way in the very beginning and then being able to go in and work on the fun part and having the other part just out of the way is kind of like, doing your work before you get to do something you enjoy. You don't have to worry about it. It's done. And so I think that is brilliant. So thank you, Christy. I appreciate it. Okay, Ariel is working on this one, and I love this. I really, really do. The colors are so pretty. The reds, I just really like this. She's been working on this one for a little while. It is a 50 by 75, and it has 60,000 drills in it. Now, I know most of them that are big have that much, but when you just hear it and see it, it just goes to show why these take so long, because you are placing 60,000 little tiny things on a canvas and making an absolutely beautiful picture. So, just in general, everybody should give themselves a nice big pat on the back because it is definitely an accomplishment to finish one, especially of this size. Now, this one is $29.67. She got it from the store Ramola official store off of AliExpress. And I am super, super excited to see this one done. I know there is a lot of confetti in this one, so it makes it go a little bit slower, but keep plugging away, Ariel, and keep us updated. Okay, so Deborah is working on this one. It's got some seashells and a starfish with the beach in the background and the ocean and the sky. Everything about this makes me happy. Like, I love the summer, you guys. It's my favorite season. And so paintings like this just make me happy. It is a 20 by 30, and she does not know the information because it was a gift. It was 1 out of 4. I am guessing it was from Amazon because Amazon does these when they come in like a pack of 4 or something, and they're about that size, and usually they run anywhere from like $15 to $20. Now, I am ballparking that and guessing, so please don't quote me on it. I'm just giving you the information I think that I know, but I don't always know. So, moving on from that, thank you, Deborah, for sending this in, and it looks like you only have a tiny bit left, so when you finish it, make sure you send it over to me so we can include it in our Finish Friday. Okay, so Joyce sent me this one. I have some words to say. First, let's get down to the logistics of it. It is a 40 by 56 square. She does not know the price because she won it. Now, I'm thinking she got it from a place called Matriska, but I'm not sure. That's just kind of the information I kind of gathered. But the first thing she said it is the drills are bad. They are popping. And we all know how annoying popping drills can be. But look at these colors. These colors are so vibrant and so stunning. They just pop. I mean, they really do. I can't really say anything else, but the colors are just so gorgeous. I love the painting, though, itself, the toucan, and it looks like you're almost done. So please keep us updated as you continue to go through this and then finish this one so that we can get it into our Finished Friday video. Now, the next thing I want to say is, if you look to the left, to the right, or above her painting, do you see something that catches your eye? because I sure as heck did. Look at her trays. They are so freaking cute. The ones to the left are puzzle pieces, and they all hook together. Then the ones to the right, I'm not really sure if they're maybe like turtles, or I'm not sure what they are. But whatever they are cute. I can't tell if they're like a turtle or something that's like supposed to walk. I'm not sure. Anyways, they all connect as well. And then if you look above her painting, she has gorgeous pens sitting there, by the way. But then look at this. She's got more trays up there. And the ones to the right-hand side look like they are a paw print and like a shamrock. How cute are these? Plus, it's like one big tray so that she can then divide it. I don't know if she made these. I don't know if she bought these somewhere, but I can guarantee you I'm going to find out. And if I find out before I post this, I will put it in the description because I know you guys have got to be wondering the same thing I am. Now, the other thing is, look at this nice table thing that she has kind of going over the top of her painting. That would be so convenient, and I love it. It's almost like a homemade part to a desk that they made. So this whole picture blows me away, like I said, for more than one reason. So thank you, Joyce, for sending this to me. Okay, Elliot is working on this custom. It is a 50 by 70. It has 27 colors. It is a round full, and it is from Treasure Studio Arts. It is a picture of cousin and the hubby, I guess. So, and he took it himself. Also, it is $53.50, but he got 15% off, so only paid $45.48. So it's always nice to get a little money off, save you a little much, so that way you can buy another one, right? Anyways, this is really pretty. I can only see just half of it, but I can already tell this is going to be a really well done piece. It looks like it's a wedding day, if I'm guessing correctly. From what I can see, it looks like she's wearing a white dress and a veil. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but that's what I'm thinking. So please keep us updated, Elliot, so that we can see this whole picture kind of unfold, because I'm interested in seeing the other half. I want to see the groom and the bride all together. Okay, so Janet sent this one in. It is Marilyn Monroe, if you can't tell, and it is by Diamond Art Club. It is 52 by 52 centimeters and normally cost $49.99. She only paid $29, which is a really nice chunk of savings there. Makes those Diamond Art Clubs a little bit more affordable. It looks like she just is getting started with this one, but this one is going to be beautiful. Look at the colors. I love the colors, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot of the background colors, which it looks like that might be black. I can't really tell, or white. We'll see. But look at the little green square things. She uses those instead of parchment paper or, any of those kind of things instead of like just a clear cover. I believe she makes them. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. And I want some because I think they are so cool. Then you have your little sections. You just take the thing off and you have your perfectly square section that you can work on. So way to be creative, Janet. And I appreciate you sending this in. Okay, so Katie sent this one in, and it is freaking adorable. Yeah, that dog is so stinking cute. The other thing I like is the background with the flowers and the whole like swooshy wooshy thing. I don't know, it's almost like a Van Gogh type painting. Not that I really know anything about art, but that would be my impression, I guess. So it is a 50 by 50, but she got it in a mystery game swap type of thing. So she's not sure the price or where it came from. However, she said it did come in a Home Fun box. So obviously with that information, pretty sure it came from Home Fun. but again, cannot be 100% sure. So that's just, yeah. So you can't quote me on any of that. But what you can quote me on is this is adorable. And I absolutely love it. I want it. I need it. And I'm going to look for it because this dog is so cute. But I also love the background. Like, a lot of times you don't get both. Like, with dogs, it's a real subtle background because the focal point is the dog. Even though the focal point in this is still the dog, the background is still super pretty and it draws my eye. It has a lot of detail in it, which just makes me love it that much more. So thank you, Katie, for sending this in, and please keep us updated. Okay, so these are Nikki's pouches. She just finished her diamond painting that she had been working on previously, and so she doesn't have one going yet. She is going to be starting Lips Like Morphine, which she has nicknamed Miss Nikki from Diamond Art Club. But she's just getting ready to do that. So right now, her work in progress is these pouches, is what she calls them. So she uses cardstock paper, and then she uses tape, and she folds them in a certain way and makes like little envelopes, and you can open them like this, which she puts her drills in. So she makes like small ones, medium ones, and then large ones. So obviously you have different sizes for different amount of drills. And then she just stacks them up like this so that they're all in line and she can find them easily. And she started doing this because when she got her first painting, she wasn't able to buy storage at that point. And so she didn't want to have to wait to do the painting, and she didn't have enough baggies or anything. So she was creative and came up with these. I think it is a really, really neat idea. She has a video on like a tutorial on how to make these pouches. So I will link that in the description below. And here is a little video that she made to show you guys. So enjoy this. And I hope someone out there can get something from this. If you can't afford storage, this is a really, really good option for you. Hey guys, so I tried my absolute best to try to get that video that she sent me to work, but I could not get it to work. So I am going to link it in the description below. So make sure that you check that out. It is Diamond Painting with Nikki. That is her channel name. So now let's go ahead and get into that whip and chat and that story that I promised you. Okay, guys, so it is my turn, but guess what? I'm not just showing you what I'm working on. I'm going to give you a short little whip and chat because that's what I want to do. And so they're my videos, so I get to decide what to do, and that's what we're doing today. Reason being, I didn't have quite as many to show you today. I tried to do like a 20 to 30 minute Whip It Wednesday, but that didn't happen today, which is totally fine. I will go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about what's been going on here. So, for the most part, things have been going well. I am recovering over being sick, and I haven't been sick lately much, and so it was very annoying. I hate being sick. I mean, most people don't like it, but, you know. Anyways, in case you are new to my channel, I had a double sinus infection, bronchitis, and the beginning of pneumonia. So I am on all sorts of antibiotics and steroids to clear that up. But I'm getting better. I'm feeling better. And so, yeah, I wanted to kind of tell you something. It's not funny, but I don't know. It's really weird, actually. That happened the other day to me when I was out with my dog. So I have two dogs, Maya and Lincoln. Lincoln is a mixed breed. He has German Pointer and Pit Bull, and Maya is a yellow lab with Queensland Heeler in it. So They are both, in my opinion, gorgeous dogs and adorable. So I'm pretty routine as a person in general. And in the evening time, I always feed the dogs at 8 o'clock. Then after they eat, I get ready and we go out for a walk in the field across the street from our apartment complex. I've done quite a few videos over there. So if you haven't seen any of those, you can go back and look. Otherwise, if you have, then you know what I'm talking about. So I'm over there, and it's kind of hard to describe, but if this was the whole field, which is actually really big, I go walking over, I enter here, and we go all the way to the other side, and then we come all the way back, and then we go up this way about halfway, and then go back, and then I do this way again, come back, and then I go home. So I had done this way already, and I was walking up this side. This side of the field is on the side where the street is. And which is it's not like a super busy street, but busy enough. I think it's an arterial, but it's the speed limit's 35, so that's what I'm guessing anyways. So I was on that side, but there's a pretty nice chunk between the street and where I am. I want to say probably 30 to 40 feet in between where I am and where the street is. And my dogs know the perimeter where they can and can't go. My dogs are both really well behaved. When I call them, they come. They check in with me. Most dogs do randomly, naturally just check in with their owners. If they're out off leash on a walk or something, dogs just naturally come back to their owners every 2 to 3 minutes just to kind of be like, hey, you still here? Cool. Okay. And then they go back out and play, which is, very typical of my dogs as well. So I am walking up this side, again, the side where the road is, and my dogs are probably about 30 feet away from me. And normally they run around, they play, they sniff, they do potty, they do all that stuff. And I kind of pay attention to my phone, and I watch them though. I look, I call them, I make sure they're checking in with me or I'm checking in with them every couple of minutes. And anyways, so I'm kind of just, tinkering around on my phone, and all of a sudden I hear this male's voice saying, come here, come on, come here, Bubby, come here. And I hear this kind of clapping and the sound, when you're trying to get a dog to come to you. So I look up and I see this guy on the street who has his car door open. The dome light was on. He had one foot out the door and was calling my dogs. And so my first reaction was, he doesn't see me. He just sees because it's dark at this time. So he doesn't see me. He just sees my dogs. He must think they're, either run away from home, they're strays. He's trying to help. So I'm just going to nicely let him know I am over here without making him feel like an idiot or something. So I call both my dogs really loud. I say, Lincoln, Maya, come. And I say it loud. I mean, I'm a loud person already, but I screamed it so that he, would hear me. Plus, on my phone, I always have my flashlight. So I also kind of waved my flashlight around a little bit so that he would see me and, be like, oh, okay, the owner's there. No big deal. I'll just get on my way. So both of my dogs instantly run over to me when I call them. And I see the guy close his door. And so I'm like, okay, he knows I'm here. So I kind of keep my dogs closer. I don't let them now go beyond 10 feet of me as we're finishing our walk. So we're walking along, and about 1 minute later, I'm still pretty hypersensitive at this point. After that happened, I'm paying, pretty darn close attention and not really paying attention to my phone at all anymore, making sure the dogs are within 10 feet of me. And then the next thing I see and hear is the guy is there again. door open, dome light on, 1 foot out, and he is calling my dogs. This time he's calling them a little more intensely, like he's really trying to get their attention. Now, granted, this is nighttime, you guys. There is nobody else out on the road. There is nobody else in the field but me, my dogs, and this guy. So there's no chance that he was calling some other dog. Like, this isn't a dog park. It's not even a park. It's just a big field. That actually quite a few people do walk their dogs over there, but not at this time of night. So anyways, so I'm like, okay, he must not have seen me somehow. And so that's what my naive brain was saying. So then I'm like, I yell really loud to him. I say, hey, they're my dogs. I'm here. And so he doesn't say anything, but he closes his door and he drives away. So I'm like, all right, cool. Now he heard me. He saw me. We are good. And so then I start walking again. I'm kind of paying attention to my phone, but still pretty, like more hyper aware than I normally am. So I'm keeping the dogs within 10 feet of me because of what just happened. So I was keeping them within 10 feet of me, and I want to say not very long, just a few minutes go by, and we are now like to the point where I usually turn around and head back this way. So we're about at that point when I see this car pull over, once again, opens his car door, dome light turns on, 1 foot of his comes out as he kind of kneels over, calling my dogs again. And I am like, all right, what is up with this dude? Like, he knows I'm here. There's no way he doesn't know I'm here. Is he really trying to take my dogs right in front of me? And so I yell to him, stop calling my dogs. They are my dogs. Stop calling them. And I almost said at that point, like, I'm going to call the police, but I didn't. And I was like, okay, if he says one more thing to my dogs, I'm calling the cops because this is freaking ridiculous. So, he closes his door and drives away. This time, didn't see him again. But man, I mean, my adrenaline was going. I am not a very good like person that does confrontation well, or like even stands up and says that kind of stuff very well. But when it comes to like my dogs or my kids, you better believe it, Mama Bear does come out and I do defend. Like I was really pissed off. Like I was just so mad that this guy would like literally try to take my dogs right in front of me. And that's really all I was thinking at that point was that he was just trying to take them. So, this was at like around 9 o'clock, I want to say, because I had gotten over there later that night. Typically, I'm over there by like 8:15, 8:30, but that night, we had some stuff going on and I got there later that night. So, anyways, I come home and I'm like, I'm telling my husband what happened. And he's like, do you still have that mace? And I'm like, no, I haven't carried mace for quite a while. And he's like, most women who walk alone in the dark carry mace. And he's like, you need to be carrying the mace. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I should. I will. I'll get it and I'll start carrying it again. And then I was like, and I'm going to get the alarm that I've been talking about that if you set it off, it like blares. Like you can hear it like a mile away. It is ridiculously loud. And it either, can stun your attacker to where they're scared and run off. Or like if I were, let's say, to fall and get hurt and either drop my phone and can't get to it or my phone dies or something, just, stuff happens. I figured this nice loud sound would draw attention for me getting help. So I've been thinking about getting this alarm for a while, but after this happened, I did order it. And I will be now carrying mace all the time because my husband was like, they might have not wanted the dogs. I'm like, well, why would they call the dogs? He's like, they could have called the dogs so that when the dogs came to him, I would have then had to get up and go, oh, or not get up. I was already walking. I mean, I would have then had to go over to him to get the dogs back. And that's when, they could have grabbed me or done whatever. And I don't know if there was more than one person in the car. I only saw the one person. But I was only really looking at him. But it was just really weird, bizarre. And I honestly, I've been walking over there for almost 3 years now. And not once have I ever had a problem. Not once have I ever even really been scared. But this kind of did freak me out. And then when I was walking, after I got back and I did the rest of my walk, I swear to God, I heard footsteps behind me. Now, it was really cold, and so I had my hood up. And when you have your hood up, it can make sound different. Anyways, I swear I had heard footsteps right behind me, and I turned around really quick, I'm like, what was that? And nobody was there, and I of course felt like an idiot, but so then I called Lincoln over right to me so that he would stay with me, because if anybody was there, Lincoln would know about it. Lincoln is super sensitive to people. He can see somebody from across the field walking, and he'll be staring at him what are they doing over here? I swear that both my dogs think that the field is their yard, and they can get a little bit we've drove by one time, and there was another dog in the field, and both of my dogs were barking hey, what is that dog doing over in our yard? Because we go over there 2 to 3 times a day, I think they think it's their yard, but I've never had an experience over there where I was actually kind of scared and felt, just those heebie-jeebie feelings, that you get. And so I kept Lincoln with me because I knew that not only would he make me very aware if there was anybody anywhere close to us, but he also would definitely protect me, and Maya would too. Maya, one time, this was before we had got Lincoln, I was over in the field, and there was a gentleman walking. I was walking this way, and like I said, I go this way, and then I go back. Well, I was about halfway point, and Maya all of a sudden comes to me right in front of me and just starts barking up a storm. Maya loves everybody, by the way. She just does. And anyway, she's barking up a storm, and I'm like, what the heck, Maya? And I look up, and I see this guy, and he's wearing pretty much all black, and he's walking towards me. I didn't know him or anything, and so Maya's kind of going bananas, so I kind of move off of the trail, and the guy's like, am I safe to pass? And I was like, only if you don't come too close, because I wasn't going to tell him, oh yeah, you're safe, she'll just lick ya, because if he was a bad dude, that would be really stupid of me. So I was like, yeah, if you don't come too close, you'll be okay. So the whole time he's passing, though, Maya is moving and putting herself between me and this guy. Now, this guy ended up living in our apartment complex, and really nice guy. I even asked, the managers about him just so that I could, because he apparently does walk over there on his way home from work a lot. So, so I know that my dogs would protect me, and Lincoln, he also has some stranger anxiety. So honestly, if I sat my butt on the in the field and put Lincoln right in front of me, nobody gonna touch me unless they are extremely brave or they have a gun and shoot him first, because it's just, you'd have to be really stupid to do that, because he'd probably be barking and growling, and that's, I wouldn't approach anybody that had a dog that was doing that to me without knowing that I was 100% safe, if they had a leash or they said I don't know. But anyways, so it was just kind of a weird event that happened. So I am carrying mace all the time. If I feel any kind of weirdness again, if something happens again, I will not be walking over there in the evening anymore. The dogs will have to just get used to only being off leash during the day, morning and afternoon walk. But the only reason it sucks is that Lincoln does not like to poop when he's on the leash. Like he will not. It takes him forever just to pee when he's on leash. Like it's just annoying because he's always been able to go over there. Or when our last managers were here, she knew my dogs and allowed them in the evening to go out and go potty off leash because she knew they weren't going to go anywhere. They listened to me. They're, just doing their business. And I did it after dark, so there was really, hardly anybody around. But with our new managers, I can't do that. And so it's a pain because Lincoln would have to go like really, really bad for him to go poop while he was on the leash. And so it's just nice. Also, like, I just think dogs should be able to have some time to run around without having to be restricted to a leash. And living in an apartment, that's really, the only place I can do that. Besides a park or something. But I don't take my dogs to the dog park. And this is just a personal preference of mine. I'm not saying that dog parks are bad or you shouldn't use them or anything, because a lot of people use them regularly and they're great and they never have a problem. But after, working as an assistant trainer, I heard so many horror stories when we would get somebody in with a dog that they would say like, oh yeah, my dog never was aggressive or reacted to dogs negatively until we were at a dog park and they got attacked or something to that effect. And I don't even know how many times I heard that same exact story, because people go, they take their dogs to the dog park, they don't pay attention, they let them go off leash because that's kind of the whole point. They let them go off leash to run around and play with the other dogs while they're not paying attention. It's kind of like when you take your dog or when you take your kid to the park, you're supposed to watch them. Like, you shouldn't be on your phone so like intensely that you are not paying attention to your kids at a park. Well, it's the same thing with a dog. Like, if you're going to take your dogs to the dog park, then you should be watching them, watching for signs that another dog isn't very happy with them or that they're not happy with another dog. Because just like humans, there are dogs that, like, okay, so let's say this. There's most people, I would be that dog if you were to put me in a dog form. I would be the dog that pretty much liked everybody. I don't usually have problems with people. People don't usually have problems with me. Unless they can't, some people have a hard time around like bubbly, hyper people or people that talk a lot. And then they might have a problem with me. But for the most part, I am like really laid back. I don't get mad easily. And then there's people that get mad super easily. It doesn't take a lot to set them off. And then there's people that it's just like a case-by-case basis. Like, most of the time they're fine, but every once in a while they meet somebody they really don't like. Dogs are the same way. If you think about it, dogs have personalities, right? Well, not all personalities click, so not all dogs are going to like each other. Not all dogs are going to want to play with each other or be around each other. Unfortunately, with dogs, when that happens, they can fight. And humans do. Humans can fight too, but it's more instinct for dogs to just kind of lay it out with each other. And so when you have a dog park that is super populated, you just have to be really careful, because you get too many dogs together and that is just a recipe for disaster. And so I am not one, I am just, after hearing so many horror stories, I'm just not one that's comfortable with taking my dogs to the dog park. My dogs get plenty of like dog to dog interaction, like when we go to training or play dates or something like that, that I don't think that they need to go to a dog park to have like dog socialization. Now that is a good place to go sometimes, but you do have to be careful because you can have a dog that likes everybody, that's super submissive, and shows no sign of aggression or reactivity or anything, and then it might get attacked really bad one time, and that all changes. And so then you have to kind of rehab the dog. So I am just cautious about it. And like I said, this is a personal preference. I am in no way saying that you shouldn't use dog parks or that they're bad or that you're bad if you do. Like, that's not what I am saying at all. Just for a personal preference for me and my dogs, I don't like it. There is a park here, though, that we go to that is not a dog park, but it's a totally fenced park. It's an old park, so there's like never anybody there. If there is, then we just either leave or put the dogs on leash or whatever. But it's this huge park. And we call it the Water Tower Park because it has a huge water tower in it. And the dogs love it. They play and they run. But lately last time we went, there's two houses. Like the park is in the middle and then there's a house and a house. Both houses have dogs. On one side, the dogs love playing, and Lincoln and one of their younger dogs will run along the fence line and play with each other. And that fence line is like 200 feet. It is a huge fence. And the dogs, Lincoln is usually laying on his side panting for air by the time he's like ready to go home because he's been just running so much. And then on the other side of that park is another house. And I think they must like work on cars because I don't know. What do you think, Maddie? There's 100 cars in their yard? I mean, it's crazy.
They probably have like 100.
Yeah.
130.
They've got at least at least 100 cars in their yard. I'm thinking he probably does something with parts. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, they have a double fence. So they have a fence around that, and then they have a fence just around their yard area for the dogs. And both dogs, I could tell, neither one of them were like aggressive towards other dogs. But the dogs, they like, they're barking at each other. They're kind of trying to like play between the fence. And all of a sudden, the dogs are in between their two fences. So there's a fence here. So there's the park, a fence, then their big yard with all the cars and stuff, and then another fence around their house, and that's where the dogs are. Well, all of a sudden, the dogs are in here. So they're now in between the two fences. So there's only the fence, my dogs on the park, their dogs right here. And I'm like, oh, well, they can just continue to play, bark, whatever, in between the fences. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know how it happened because it was like magic. It was just like that, and their dogs were in the park. And I'm like, I don't think they want their dogs over here without knowing about it. So I try to go over to their house, and then all of a sudden the dogs are like, they're leaving the park. I tried to get them to get the dogs to come to me so I could get them on a leash and take them back home. But the dogs were like way too excited to be free. And so I went over to the gal's house, and I knock on her door, and it's like 10 in the morning, I think. She answers the door. She was obviously sleeping. I felt bad, but I was like, sorry, but your dogs are out and now in the park. And she was like, what? Are you sure it's my dogs? Yep, I'm pretty sure. They came out of your backyard. And she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. I said, my dogs were over there, and I think they were just kind of wanted to play. And so they came. I was like, I don't even know how they got through, but they did. So she is in like these tiny little booty shorts
and a tank top. And so she's obviously not dressed to like go running around outside, but I kind of thought she'd go in, change, and then come back out. But she didn't. She just kind of stood on her porch and she's yelling for her dogs. So I see both dogs start to come through the gate around to her house. Well, the one dog decided to come home like it was told. The other dog decided, I'm out of the park now. I think I'll go for a little neighborhood tour. So I see the dog like heading down the road, and so I'm going after it. Now I know the dog's name, so I'm calling the dog. The dog is not listening to me or its owner. The owner continues to just stand on the porch as me and my daughter are chasing her dog down the road. And it was like the dog, when we saw it, it was a good block away. So then we now know the dog's name, so we're calling it, and the dog's all like super happy and follows us home, or back towards his house. And then his owner she was pissed. She was really mad. So she's yelling now at like not happily for her dog. And we finally, I get the dog all the way back to her house. And she just takes the dog, goes inside. I don't even think she said thank you, did she? Yeah, no, she didn't even. Did. I don't think she did, because I remember saying something like, that was weird. She didn't even. She kind of didn't. She was like, thanks. Yeah, she was kind of weird. It was just like most of the time. I mean, for me, if my dogs were running loose and I knew they shouldn't be, I would have grabbed some clothes and ran out and like got my dogs or helped or something. But she kind of just stood there and like let me do it. And then when I brought him back, she was just like very, I don't know. I would have been like, thank you. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I would have been a lot more appreciative of somebody chasing my dogs down for me. But anyways, she got the dogs. So now I'm like, we can easily go to that park still. It's not like their dogs were a problem, but I kind of feel bad. I don't want to like entice her dogs to leave their yard again. Because, and so, yeah, that was the last time we went. So, anyways, so that's, yeah, I mean, Maddie wanted to go the other day, and I was not feeling good still, and I was like, I really just don't want to deal with having to deal with the dogs in case they get out, because I feel like, I know they're not my responsibility, but if I see them get out, and the owners don't, I could not just live with myself without saying something, because if something bad happened, I would just feel horrible. So, then that's me. So, but we do have a park we can go to that, is fenced and everything, but yeah. And we also have, where I worked, there is a yard, and it is like the size of a football field and a half. And the dogs can run around and play. And Lincoln's best friend, which it was my boss's dog, they are like best buddies, and they play hard together. And so I know anytime that I think that, the dogs need some off-leash time, if I have to stop going to the field, I'll have to just make other arrangements to deal with it. But hopefully this was an isolated incident and it won't happen again, because I'm not going to like tempt fate, so to speak. So anyways, but I just thought I would tell you guys that, because it was kind of an interesting, weird thing that kind of stuff I'm just not, never had it happen, not used to that at all. So it really threw me off. And my husband, he is not a worrier. And even if he is worried, he doesn't show you that he's worried. And when I told him this, he was genuinely concerned and was like, yeah, you need to carry, the pepper spray and stuff. And so with him showing concern, I figured maybe I should be, because sometimes I can be a little naive and not,
A little.
think, and it's, it's fine. Like, I just, yeah. But sadly, this day and age with the people in this world, you cannot trust everybody. And as much as I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt, I'm not going to risk my life, my dogs, my kids, or anybody on giving them the benefit of the doubt, if that makes sense. So anyways, so now this little whipping chat, I said it was going to be a mini, so it's already been about 20 minutes or something, and so typically my whipping chats are about an hour. So I am going to let you go, but I hope you enjoyed the first half of this video and the second half of this video, both, or one or the other at least. I'm doing right now, the only thing I feel like I'm doing is 310s. I just started on, oh yeah, I was going to tell you about my painting that I'm doing. So I finished the skull from Mystical Diamond Art, and I did put a review up of that, so if you are interested in how that turned out. And then I'm working on this one now, which is my second one that I want to do for Drills and Chills. It is sitting on, is it on a pumpkin? No, the kitty that is sitting next to the pumpkin, and it has like a little witch hat that's like kind of a curly Q looking thing. I can show you the thumbnail, but it's really tiny. Like, it's really tiny. I'll just get the picture and I'll insert it right here so that you guys can see. So that is the one I'm working on right now, and there is a ton of black, like the whole outside of it are just 310s. So I am living the 310 life right now, and I'm hoping to get to the colorful part, but it's not a very colorful painting, we'll just say that, because it's a little bit of a darker one, but that's okay. I think it's going to be super cute, and my son is going to love it because he wants more cat diamond paintings for his wall. He loves cats, and so I think he will appreciate the work done with this one, because it is stinking adorable. And I think that this one will be it for Drills and Chills. I have one other Halloween one that I can do. My daughter might want to do that. I'm not sure. But I do have quite a few that I need to get working on for presents still. So pretty sure this one will be it, but that's all right. I might even do 2 at a time. I don't know. A lot of times I'll do 1 square and 1 round going, and depending on my mood at what I want to, how much I want to, how do I say this? Like, focus. Because if I'm doing a square, I definitely try to focus a little more so that I'm getting them lined up nicely. So there's no popping drills, and this one I really have to pay attention to more, because everything is, I mean, there's not much like lines like when you get a square painting. So I'm really having to pay attention to where I'm putting the drills so that they all do line up together. So that I don't have a bunch of drills that are popping off the canvas, because, as I've said many times, that is the biggest pain in the butt. So yeah, I definitely have to pay attention to this one. So I might grab one that's a round that I don't have to pay quite as much attention to for when I'm in that mood. So, but anyways, for right now, this is it that I'm working on, and it's going to turn out really cute, I think. So far, too, the drills are, even though they're, like I said, I'm working on all the 310s right now. And 310s tend to be really the worst drills. They, so far, are not a problem. I'm not having anything popping. They're laying nicely. They're fitting together nicely. So far, so good. Anyways, that is all that I have for you today. So, as always, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So with that, keep shining, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already and would like to subscribe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and the bell icon to be notified when I put up a new video.